Uh-oh. Stink.
Older Delta kitchen faucet with the side sprayer. We know it's an older one just from the style of it, just from the looks. Also, they're built pretty well, these old ones. But problem is that we're leaking from under the handle. We're gonna repair it, so I'll show you how to do that. We'll start underneath with our shutoff valves. You have one for the hot, one for the cold. I've already shut these ones off. These are multi-turn ones, so it's just ones that you have to turn until you kind of feel like you're hitting some resistance. They're stopping. Before you take things apart, you always want to test that though. Go ahead and open up the faucet. This is a rebuild kit for the lever handle ones. So now that we have the water off to the faucet, these ones, you're gonna grab a 1/8 Allen wrench, and you hope it turns for you. There it is. Sometimes that can be a speed bump, just getting that set screw out. And right there, we're loosened up. So you're gonna take that one off. This, the teeth here, the grooves, you can get a wrench on that. That is gonna be your retaining nut holding all of our parts in. And so we'll just wanna be careful that we're not scratching up the finish too bad. It looks like this may have been repaired in the past, otherwise the age is catching up to it a bit. So loosen that up. And then there's our replaceable parts right in there. And so you can see the kind of diamond shape. So the parts are just gonna go in, the new ones are gonna go in the exact same way that these ones have come out. There is also a little, let's see if we can get to focus, little notch on the left-hand side of this. See it right there? So it's not gonna let you put it in the wrong way. So there's gonna be this little notch, and then the little divot right there. It's only gonna let you put in that one direction right there. And then underneath the trackball there, we're gonna have these. Gonna be hard to see with the water and the lighting, but all of our older Delta faucets are gonna have a spring. And the cup washer got away from me, and cup washer right there. One on the hot, one on the cold. So if you have more of a modern faucet, you're not gonna have these like cup washers and springs and the trackball. This is now antiquated technology for Delta. Now they have ceramic disc cartridges. Your faucets are gonna come apart similar. A lot of them now have the handle on the side, and then you have the big gooseneck, the taller faucets with the pull down sprayers. But it's still gonna be a set screw to take the handle off. You're still gonna have some sort of a retaining nut holding your cartridge in. So it's going to be essentially the same steps, but these ceramic disc cartridges, they're all one piece. So you're not going to have to worry about multiple pieces being assembled. You can always just take that piece out, run over to the hardware store, because it does have to be an exact match. So you want to make sure it's brand specific, and it's also going to be model specific. And so we have a rebuild kit right here. So let's assemble it just the same way that I took it apart. I always like to put the cup washer right on top of our spring. I find it's easiest to go ahead and put that through like a little flathead screwdriver or Allen wrench, something to where you can kind of slide the end of your tool into the hole that's in there, and that's going to kind of help things seat down, because when you have water in here, that cup washer tends to want to raise the surface. Same thing on the cold. never done it one-handed before. And honestly, not sure how many of you still even have these older Delta faucets installed in your kitchens. I'm gonna have a little notch on the trackball right there. You might not be able to see it, but there's gonna be a little notch on the right side of the faucet. So we're gonna make sure that that goes in right there. Again, lining up our little notch. The color difference, not important. Just notch it in, make sure that seats down right there. Make sure we have good movement right there, so that's all staying in place. We do have these 2 O-rings that the rebuild kit comes with as well. And so those are actually going to be for underneath the faucet spout. Once you have this retaining nut off, on these older Delta faucets, you can actually lift up and remove. And so in between your 2 O-rings, top and bottom one, is your little diverter for the side sprayer. So if you don't have a side sprayer for your older Delta faucet, then you're not going to have that. But this is a part that rarely needs to be replaced. I'm not going to remove it. I don't have a replacement one, and he wasn't having any issues with his faucet on that, so we'll kind of leave that alone. But you can see when I squeeze on the top of that, water's coming out right there. So for the issue that we were running into, just replacing all of our internals up here, not a problem. But maybe if you have an issue with the side sprayer leaking from the base down underneath the faucet, then you'll probably want to take this extra step and removing it. And so those 2 O-rings, a little bit tricky to get off. Sometimes you just need to cut them. I find a flathead screwdriver, getting underneath there and kind of working them off, and then your spout just fits right back on there. And then you can make sure that you're rotating nicely. Get our brass retaining nut. Just go hand tight with that one to start. Nice and snug. And then we'll just get a little extra. It doesn't have to be cranked down by any means. A little extra. And then something I removed, we'll put it right back in, is just this little plastic nut as well, a little sleeve on our handle. Just kind of fit that on loosely for the time. Because then what we'll do is turn our water back on, test it out. Hot, cold. And that is a repaired Delta kitchen faucet. Not much to it. They're plumb and easy. Right there.